Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. Is Jon Jones ducking Tom Aspinall? Does Jon Jones need to fight Tom Aspinall, or does Tom Aspinall need to fight Jon Jones? In this video, hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Jon Jones defeated Stipe Miocic at UFC 309 with a spectacular performance where he looked vintage Jon Jones in the third round with a beautiful spinning kick to the ribs and finished him off with ground and pound, and still the undisputed UFC Heavyweight Champion, and still the greatest mixed martial artist, or for me, the greatest martial artist of all time. There's no denying that. If you think Jon Jones is not the greatest, at least mixed martial artist of all time, then please call a helpline or something. Then you are just absolutely delusional. I don't care if you're the biggest Tom Aspinall fan. I don't care.
You care. I don't care. Why do you care?
If you're the biggest Khabib fan, or whatever case you might have to not have Jon Jones number one there, you're absolutely out of your mind. But write it in the comments if you are that out of your mind, right? But that's not even the topic of the video. The topic is...
Here's the thing, you guys.
Does Jon Jones really need to fight Tom Aspinall? Is he ducking Tom Aspinall and all of this, right? And I have a pretty clear stance on that. I'm a very big Tom Aspinall fan, just to get that out of the way. Watch my vlog in London where I met him. He's a phenomenal guy, such a humble, nice dude to meet. When he let me walk with him and vlog with him a little bit, that was so cool, and I will forever be grateful for that, and I will forever be a huge fan of him. I'm a huge fan of Tom Aspinall. I always say Tom Aspinall, in my opinion, has the potential to be definitely the greatest heavyweight of all time, and in the conversation for one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time in the future.
Is it the future? Yes.
For now, the question is if Jon Jones needs to fight him. And the answer is pretty easy. Jon Jones does not need to fight Tom Aspinall. Of course, if he fights again in the heavyweight division, it needs to be Tom Aspinall. He can't fight Alex Pereira in the heavyweight division. That doesn't make any sense. Tom Aspinall is the interim champ. He is as clear of a number one contender for the belt as you can be. And if Jon Jones ever decides to defend his heavyweight strap, it needs to be against Tom Aspinall. There's no question about that.
Absolutely, 100%.
But Jon Jones, he's not ducking him. I don't like that wording, because Jon Jones has no business fighting Tom Aspinall. He doesn't need to. Of course, it would be very honorable of him. It would show a lot of balls and a lot of courage, because he would put his whole entire legacy on the line for that fight. Because if Tom Aspinall beats Jon Jones, which is a very high possibility, because Tom Aspinall is as good of a heavyweight as you've ever seen. He's the Jon Jones of light heavyweight in a way. Jon Jones at light heavyweight is a special breed. No one will be like him, but he's similar to him at heavyweight. He has the speed, everything. He's so good in stand-up, underground, everywhere. So it's such a risky matchup for Jon Jones. And Jon Jones has nothing to prove anymore. For you guys that say, oh, but Jon Jones needs to fight against him now, otherwise he will forever be a duck in his legacy. Bro, Jon Jones has freaking 17 title fights and 17 title wins. Of course, I also include the loss that he has to Matt Hamill, right? Which is absolutely nonsense. He never lost a title fight in his life. He never lost a fight in his life. And of course, you can always argue Dominic Reyes, blah, blah, blah. But realistically, he never lost a title fight in 17 title fights. Can you just put that to your mind? 17 title fights. That is unheard of. Unheard of. And he fought the who's who. Lyoto Machida, Vitor Belfort, all those guys in their prime, Shogun Rua. He fought the who's who that you can imagine. And I know if you're a new fan, a pandemic fan, you might not recognize these names, but go watch some MMA history.
Why don't you just do some research?
And you will realize, damn, he fought the who's who and he beat them all. He finished them all. So for you to say that if he does not fight Tom Aspinall, he ruined his legacy, is just bananas.
Oh my God. This is crazy.
He risks so much more than he gets if he fights Tom Aspinall. Because as I said, Tom Aspinall is such a dangerous matchup for him. Tom Aspinall could 100% beat him. And he doesn't gain anything from beating Tom Aspinall. He beats a guy that is an interim champion in a lackluster heavyweight division right now that otherwise has done nothing yet. He gains nothing from beating Tom Aspinall. Nothing. Other than people saying, okay, yeah, he stood his ground, he fought him, blah, blah. Of course, he gets some acknowledgements from MMA fans, especially UK fans. And I 100% support that the UK fans back their boy. I respect that as well.
And this is still my boy!
But he doesn't gain much from it. If he retires right now, he will probably forever be the greatest of all time, and he has no regrets. He does not need to fight Tom Aspinall, but Tom Aspinall needs Jon Jones. That's the whole thing of it. That's the whole reason Tom Aspinall is making such a big case of it. And I understand Tom Aspinall's point of view, because he needs Jon Jones. Who else is there? Who else? Tom Aspinall, like the heavyweight division right now, as I said, is so lackluster. There's no one there that's intriguing. Who should he fight? Volkov again? Of course, the only fight that's kind of funny to see is Cyril Gane against Tom Aspinall, because Cyril Gane was once that highly, like the high hopes of the heavyweight division, but we just saw that his grappling is just very lackluster. But it could be a fun fight, because in the striking, this would be a phenomenal fight. And who knows, maybe Cyril Gane improves his takedown defense. So this is the only fight that is even there that even interests anyone. That is even some kind of a challenge. Of course, Volkov is kind of rejuvenated himself and looks very good and stuff. But you know what I mean? There's not a fighter in the heavyweight division that is like giving Tom Aspinall any credibility right now other than Jon Jones. If he beats Jon Jones, he's the real heavyweight champion. He beat the reigning defending heavyweight champion, the GOAT and everything. Otherwise, there's no one that really does that for him. And that's pretty frustrating for a guy like Tom Aspinall. Because if Jon Jones retires now, of course, Aspinall will fight for the vacant belt, because as far as I know, the system is like that you're the interim champ, but if the belt gets vacated, the main belt, you still have to fight for it. You won't just get the belt automatically. So he ends up fighting Volkov in a rematch, or Cyril Gane, depending on who wins in December, for the vacant belt. And of course, he will then be the 100% acknowledged by the fans and everything, the new heavyweight champion if he wins that fight. But there will always be something lacking there, you know what I mean? There will always be like, who did he beat for that? He beat the guy in Cyril Gane then who got beaten by Jon Jones in 2 minutes with 0 strikes absorbed, you know what I mean? Like, for Tom Aspinall, that it means a lot. He needs to fight Jon Jones to kind of verify his status as the heavyweight champion in a way. You know what I mean? And Jon Jones doesn't need that. If he fights Tom Aspinall, who did Tom Aspinall beat to become the heavyweight champion? Curtis Blades, who is 18-5. If you do the math there, Curtis Blades lost every 3.6 fights he lost. Is that the guy that gives you the credibility as the crazy heavyweight champion? No, it doesn't, and it's not Tom Aspinall's fault at all. Not at all. It's not his fault who he fights, and it's not his fault that the heavyweight division is very lackluster. And Sergey Pavlovich as well. Sergey Pavlovich was once that scary dude. Now we found out that if you have a smart game plan, you can easily defeat him. Look what Volkov did to him. You know what I mean? So for Jon Jones, what is there to gain? To beat the guy that beat Pavlovich and Blades for his belt? And before that, Marcin Tybura? Like, hell nah, you know what I mean? So I get where Jon Jones is coming from. If he gets a shit ton of money, of course, but he risks so much with that fight. And he doesn't need to. He's 37. He's at the tail end of his career. He's getting slower. He's getting stiffer. He's aging. He has a gray beard. He can retire in peace and you can say nothing. He's not ducking anyone if he retires. He's just having a smart approach to his career.
This is not a career. This is an opportunity.
I don't get why UFC fans sometimes are so stupid. They want their guys or the guys to always fight and not retire, because then they're ducking everyone if they retire. To just fight until they can't fight no more. But then at the same time, when these legends then fight until they can't fight no more, like Anderson Silva, and just keep losing because they just can't do it no more, but they just can't stop with it, then they're like, oh, so sad when these legends just don't know when they should finish, when they should retire. Oh, that's so sad, blah, blah, blah. The UFC forces them, they need the money, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're saying A and saying C at the same time. You get what I'm saying? So Jon Jones, if he retires, he does it the GSP way, which is the best way you can do it. Retire on top. He just beat the consensus greatest heavyweight of all time, the most accomplished heavyweight of all time. Did he beat him in his prime? No, he didn't. But Jon Jones is also not in his prime anymore. Don't you get that? So for Jon Jones, as I said, if we go in a completely logic way, The only fight for him next is Tom Aspinall. But if I'm Jon Jones' advisor, if I'm Jon Jones, I say, hey, look, I've done it all. I've defended the heavyweight title. I'm a 2-division weight champion. I never lost a title fight. I'm the greatest of all time without a question. Let's retire. I made a shit ton of money in that fight again. Let's just retire and just enjoy life, work on some other projects, and say salam alaikum. That is my opinion on the whole thing. What is your opinion? Write it in the comments, you guys. I know a lot of you guys will come for me like, blah, 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 Jon is a duck. That's okay if that's your opinion. Write it in the comments though. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. I would appreciate that, you guys. Make sure to buy the Bloodsport merch. Check it out, bloodshop.net. The link is in the bio. Fire merch. You will not regret buying it. Worldwide free shipping with the code FREE. Check it out, you guys. Stay bloody. Until the next one. Bye-bye. Bloodsport out.